What's up, guys? Look what I'm doing. Any guesses? New bee yard. That's right. I am excited. This is I think my third. This is going to be bee yard number 3. It's right here along this timber edge, and it is above a creek bottom with farm ground down there, and then nothing but hardwoods to my west, north, and east. So I'm pretty excited about the possible honey production out here. Trees produce more nectar than flowers, and yeah, curious to see what happens out here. So let's get to hyperlapsing, that way I can show you guys what I'm going to do. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to put the metal down on the ground, put the hives on top of that. I'm not putting hives out here today, but I'm going to get everything ready. That way, whenever I make my splits, I can just bring them out here and get to rolling. So we're going to go right along this timber edge here. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, that didn't take very long. That's the easy part. Getting the bees over here and taking care of them is the hard part, I guess, and the fun part, though. So anyways, I want to kind of show you guys what I did. Out of curiosity, my pallets are 33 inches, so I kind of want to see. Oh, that's pretty close. We've got, what do we got here? 35 inches in between. What about this one? I want to just kind of see how close my foot guesstimations are. 43. Okay. Next bee. 40 and a half. It's not horrible. I think what I might do, since I got my tape out, 44, just put 3 foot in between each one, or maybe even 40 inches, because it looks like we're going to be a few inches over 40 on my step measuring. That one's 39. All right, I'm going to go through here and push them all to 40 inches real quick. That's probably 40 now. 40 3/4, close enough. And this isn't the Taj Mahal. 42, all right. 44, bring it back a little bit. That'll work. I've noticed one thing: you don't want to have not enough room in between your hives if you're laying them out like I am. If you don't have enough room to work them, it makes it a real booger. 46. Come back a little bit here. I think, yeah, 39 and a half. This spot I picked here, 41. Very good. That's plenty of room. Honestly, 3 foot would probably be sufficient, but I'm going to have 14 hives out here, so I'm just going to space them out equally. But yeah, this spot is pretty flat. I don't think I'm going to have to do really any shimming at all to these hives, hardly. Maybe these last 2 might need a little bit, but at the same time, I don't think they're out of level enough to really worry about it. And it seems like if I put all these hives with their feet flat on the metal, they're all kind of leaning forward, so any rainwater that might get into that bottom board should drain out the front, except for maybe this one. I've got it up on the rib of that piece of roof metal there. So yeah, it should be good. Freaking pumped. I got another yard to set up at my parents' house. I'm gonna go do that now. Alright. Got confused there for a second. Anyways, I'm going to take a little bit of Grub X, y'all, and throw it on the ground before I depart this location. Grub X is pretty good for small hive beetle control. You don't want your hives to get slimed. Believe me, if you've ever had a hive get slimed, it's infuriating. So I'm just going to take some Grub X, sprinkle it out in the faces of these hives here, just the first couple feet. I've got a theory, and I may be incorrect. I don't have any evidence to support this, but I feel like if these larvae from the small hive beetles land on that metal in the summertime, either ants are going to eat them or they're going to cook on that hot metal, right? Could be wrong, but a theory is a theory. Hopefully my theory is correct. But one thing for sure, nothing will grow through that roof metal. That's the nice part about it. And it doesn't weigh much. So, pretty good ground cover for beehives. What's up, y'all? We're at the other bee yard now that I'm getting ready to set up. I'll show you. Put all my roof metal in here. All my pallets. I got 7 pallets in here. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 pallets. And if you notice, some of them have a bit of a charred look. That's because the neighbor on top of the hill, I had all this equipment kind of staged for the winter time up on top of that hill. I'll show you. Way up there, a couple hundred yards away. He likes to burn his leaves religiously by his propane tank, as crazy as that sounds. Don't get me started on it, but anyways, he kind of didn't ruin any of my pallets, luckily, because I had them setting on this metal on the ground already, so there really wasn't much fuel around my pallets, but nonetheless, they got a little smoky. But they're all still in pretty darn good shape. Built them all out of Advantech. I got a 3/4 inch rim on these ones. This one here didn't get charred much, but that one got the edges a little bit. This one here might be the worst one. It's got a little smoke on it. But luckily, I've got one of these that has a piece of cedar on the bottom for a setter. I'll tell you what, if you know anything about cedar, it burns really good. You almost, all you got to do is look at cedar. There it is. I think this is the one. Yep. Luckily, this didn't burn. All 3 of these runners, 1, 2, 3, right on the bottom of the pallet, are made out of cedar. And luckily, they didn't burn. They actually have a coat of stain on them, which would make them combust even better. So, as you can see, this got a little crispy on the end, but it didn't really hurt it too bad. We're gonna use it anyway. I don't think the bees will mind. So, anyways, got going on, y'all. I'll have 3 bee yards after we get done here today, so let's get these things set up. Forgot to mention my last yard I just showed you guys I set up. I'm going to call it the Sasquatch yard because this guy's got a Sasquatch out in his front yard. I'll show it to you next time I go out there. But yeah, those pallets out there have a 3/8 shim on them instead of a 3/4 because mice can get through a 3/4 inch void in between your bottom board and your box. They can't fit through a 3/8 gap, so that'll save me from having to put entry reducers on there like the rest of these, but it's just a little thing, you know, no biggie. But I think it'll help come this next winter. I think what I'll do is I'll keep some more 3/4 material, whether it be Advantech or just yellow pine or whatever, 1x material, and I'll just stick it up on the front like a normal entry reducer. It just won't slide underneath the brood chamber, in between the brood chamber and the bottom board. So yeah, that's what I'll end up doing. And I may even take just a hand stapler, you know, not a slap tacker, but one of the ones that you squeeze the handle on and shoot the staple out. Nothing pneumatic, but I'll probably just staple those entry reducers out in front just to keep critters from moving them around and stick from hitting them and knocking them out and all that. That way there's not too much of a draft this next winter on those hives out at the Sasquatch yard. Anyways, let's get rolling. Alright, y'all. Got her all set up. See, got 7 pallets here underneath, or with metal underneath them. Ready to go. Just need to wait on time, the right time of the year to get these bees built up. Probably here in about 3 more weeks, I'm going to take all my hives, and I think what I'll do is I'll bring 12 hives I'm going to bring out here. I'm going to go ahead and bring them out and get one on each pallet. I'll have 1 empty pallet, but I want to go ahead and get them out here, and then I'll feed them pollen sub, make some, get them stimulated to start rearing brood. That way I can split them out here, instead of, my original plan was to keep them where I've got them, eventually split them at the location I already have those 12 hives, and then bring them out here, and then over to the Sasquatch yard. I think it's probably a little bit wiser to just go ahead and bring them out here while it's colder and get them established, and then I can build them up here, split them here, not have to. I think it'd be a lot more hauling. Yeah, so we'll stick with that idea. However, what you got it left to do is I'm just going to go through here again with that Grub X, sprinkle it around here, get the ground Grub X and prepared for whenever I bring the bees out for this coming season. So any questions or comments, leave them below, and I would really actually like some creative ideas on the name of this yard. I'm going to call the other yard the Sasquatch yard. I can't figure out what I want to call this one, so if you guys got any cool ideas, let me know. Well, that's done for now. I'll probably do it again. Put some more grub X down all along the front of here again. Probably in April or May. Probably in May. Just see what happens, I guess, with the beetle population once I get all the bees moved out here. So a little preparation goes a long ways. If I can go ahead and get this ground saturated with this Grub X chemical stuff, keep those little black beetles from repopulating, we're in business. So anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Happy beekeeping to you guys. Hope this helped you a little bit. I hope you guys enjoy the ride as much as I'm going to, because my plan is to go from, what I got, 22 hives right now to 50. Maybe even more than that, because I'm gonna set up some mating nukes and stuff like that at my house. So like I said though, if you guys got any cool ideas for this yard, let me know. Got a lot of woods. There's a dry creek bed over there. This is at my parents' property. Right down there, about 200 yards, are still the same creek bed. There's a, I don't know if you guys can tell, maybe not, I guess, with this camera, but there's a creek bed, and across the way, there's a big, probably, I don't know, 70 acre field, 80 acres, something like that. It's a big field. It's probably 400 yards wide both ways, north to south, east to west. But they let a whole bunch of blackberries and stuff like that and briars grow up in there, so that might be really good for these bees this coming spring. And we've got a big thicket here on this hillside, and then there's houses up there on top of that hill, but yeah, my folks' house there. But yeah, there's a lot of timber out here and a lot of cattle ground mixed into it, which is the yard that I have out at my timber yard. I really haven't figured out a good name to name it either, now I'm thinking of it, so I have to come up with some more goodies. Anyways, love y'all. I'm gonna go and enjoy the rest of my evening after I get rid of this trailer, and I hope you all do the same. See you guys. One more thing. I just had an idea. I've got 5 pieces of metal left. I think there's enough to go on the back side of all these and kind of give me a little bit of leeway to room, a little bit of extra room on the back side of these hives, keep the weeds off of them. So I really don't want to throw them away in case I get an opportunity eventually to set up another bee yard. Maybe that'd be cool if I have time to. I'm going to see how this number 50 goes this year. We had 9 production hives out in the timber yard. I guess we can call it timber yard for now. And then 12 next door. I ended up just splitting one colony out of the timber yard. That's a good name for it. We'll call it the timber yard. It's in the middle of the woods. So we got 22 hives right now. I don't think it's not going to be hard per se to get to 50 with 22 hives. I'm going to do some more oxalic vaporization tomorrow. So shouldn't be too hard to get them through the rest of the winter. Keep them cleaned up. But we didn't have 50 hives this last year, so I don't know what it's like to work 50 hives in a season. We didn't even have half that. So, and I know I spent a lot of my time on weekends working, not just on Saturday, but Sunday too, trying to maintain everything. So, but with experience comes, for the lack of a better word, precision, efficiency. I should say that instead of precision. Maybe a little bit of both, really. But whenever you have an idea of what you want to do, plus a goal in mind, that kind of dictates what your actions are going to be whenever you know how to do the work you're going to do, I guess. So I'm excited to figure it out. I know that. All right, let me get this metal out of the trailer. Put that little guy away. We're going to set it up again. All right, now I'm done. All right, see you guys.